All right. Good afternoon. I'm Susanna Hart with Guild Mortgage.
And I'm Sandra Smith. And today we'll be discussing the home buying process. So let's get started.
The first thing you want to do is find out how much you can afford. And the best way to do that is to get pre-approved. That process means that you are going to complete a loan application with your lender.
Now, when we look at the loan application, it's really important to be very detailed and specific on the loan application so that Susanna and I know exactly what we're working with. So please complete each page when we ask for the employment very thoroughly, because when we're receiving the applications, we won't know the ins and outs. So the more specific you are, the better.
Once you complete your application and you submit it, we will be asking for financial documentation. These would be things such as your pay stubs, W-2s, your asset statements, any mortgage statements for other properties you may own, and divorce decree, IRS liens, whatever may apply to your financial profile. You will receive secure links to where you can submit this directly to us. This should back up any of the things that you placed in your loan application. So we will go back to the loan application itself and compare it to your loan documents.
Please get pre-approved for a specific amount. What we mean by that is if you know that you're only looking at condos, please let us know that up front so that we can also include a fee for the homeowners association. If you know that you're specifically looking for a single family home, that makes a difference. If you know that you are only interested in investment properties and there are going to be more than one unit, specify that as well, because when we're looking at specific programs for you, they can be county specific. And so it's important to know kind of where you're thinking about purchasing.
And then the very next step, once you've got your pre-approval letter in hand, you know how much you can afford, you need to find your home. And that very first step is to hire a real estate agent. We recommend that you call several of them, but both Sandra and I work with a lot of agents throughout the Bay Area. We'd be more than happy to give you several names as well. Interview them, make sure they're listening to what you need and what you need, where the areas that you need to look for a home. Because commuting in the Bay Area, as you know, is a fun thing to do. You want to make sure that you're aware of how far away from your business your new home may be as well. So make sure they're listening to your concerns. Sandra, would you think there might be other things that would go well on the screen?
One other thing I just wanted to mention is make sure that you ask your realtor if you are using layered programs, if they're familiar with the programs. This also helps with when they are acting on your behalf to put in an offer so that they can give realistic expectations to the selling agent as well. You also have to sign a sales contract for the property. This is something that's really important because timing comes into play. Typically, you're given 24 hours to return that contract, and then it also starts a lot of other time variables for us as we work on your loan.
You're also going to be asked to sign a lot of disclosures. A lot of your property disclosures are due right away within 24 hours. And the loan from myself and Sandra, we may send you right away or within, we have 72 hours to get you all of the fees and items involved in your loan. Make sure everything is accurate. Sign all pages right away. If there is something incorrect, you do need to let us know. These are working documents at this point of the transaction, and some things can change. So you do need to stay in constant contact with your loan agent as well as your real estate agent.
It's really important to attend the home inspection or at the very least review the report. We as loan officers really emphasize this as something important, that you as the buyer, you take the time and you speak to your realtor and you are very comfortable understanding the report that the home inspector has provided. If you go and attend the inspection, you're able to ask questions there of the inspector as it's being jotted down. And this is a great roadmap as to what repairs you need to make as you go along in the process, not necessarily to purchase the home, but when you're in the home, what things you'll look at taking care of right away and what things can be put off.
There is one inspection that the lender will order, and that is the appraisal. This is something that must be done for the loan, and it values the home based on the market. We need to make sure that it is worth what you are paying. So this appraisal report is a summary of the local area as well, what's sold in your price range for this particular home, and what goodies your home may have, if there is any repairs that do need to be made or are very, very apparent, such as maybe a water heater not being double strapped, bars on the windows don't work properly. These sorts of things will come into play on an appraisal. But this is really an important tool for the lender, because we need to make sure that we can resell that home at market rate in the event, gosh forbid, that you were to foreclose on that home. We need to make sure that we can recuperate and that it's worth it. Once your loan is in, the appraisal is in, we've got all your documentation in, we're going to go in for something known as a clear to close process. This time you will also receive something known as the closing disclosure. At this point, everything should be I's dotted and T's crossed. All the fees that you and the loan agent have talked about should be exactly outlined on this closing disclosure. Be very, very close to the dollar amount that you need to bring to the table at the end of this loan to finish the process.
At this point, you are ready to sign your docs, and the loan is almost about to close. This is the part that you really review those other statements that Susanna just spoke about, because those are a great indicator of what to expect at your final docs. They should match pretty closely, and at this point, you are very comfortable with knowing how much money you need to bring into the transaction. You would bring those funds to the closing, sign your docs, and then we're ready to close the loan.
Once the loan has had all the signatures in place, we've funded the loan, and it's now on record with the county, you get your keys and you become a homeowner. You get to kick back your feet, have your glass of wine or beer, the walls purple if you want. This is now your time. You get to own your home.
You own your home. Hopefully, this little presentation has been helpful, and it at least points some of the things that you should expect when purchasing your home. If you have additional questions, we will be providing this, and you can just give us your email and we'll send it to you.
Again, I'm Susanna Hart. Guild Mortgage is the company.
Sandra Smith, same company, Guild Mortgage.
Fantastic. Happy home ownership.